Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome to another episode of Intuitive Creator Spotlight. I am Stella, your host, and in this playlist, I am inviting amazing guests, intuitive creators who embraced their gifts, their path, and now are on a mission to help other people connect with who they are, connect with themselves and the world. And today, I'm so super excited to have Lizzie here with me. Lizzie is the heart behind the Stratford-upon-Avon Business Coffee Morning. She is amazing at bringing people together, creating amazing network systems, and I can't wait for her to share her story with us. Hi, Lizzie. Welcome to this interview.
Hi, Stella. Thank you for having me.
I'm so happy to record this conversation with you because I've known you for a while, and I know that you created something that didn't exist before, and that is a community that you were looking for yourself. So can you share with us what inspired you to take that first step and create this community rather than waiting for somebody else to do it?
Yeah, of course. What happened was I was pregnant with my third child, Otis, who's now 2, and I got made redundant, and I'd recently qualified as a life coach. So I felt I'd never run my own business before. I was very anxious about it. I didn't know how to market myself or any of these things. And I was trying to find a networking group in Stratford, and I couldn't find one that I would feel comfortable going to. They all looked very established. There was lots of the people that went were quite a lot older than me as well. They'd been running their business for a long time, and I just felt like insecure walking through one of those doors. So I put a note on the Facebook, Stratford Facebook forum saying, I'm just looking for a local coffee morning for business owners. Would anyone else be interested in doing something like this with me? And I had 300 responses. So yeah, so
Wow. Oh,
it did take a while to get it going, but I thought, okay, well, let's just try. I was already running events, so I thought, let's see what happens, see if anyone comes. Um, and they did. And it's been running for 13 months now.
yes, I was there at your very first event.
Yay!
And I'm so happy that I met you and I connected with you. And these events also happen at a beautiful location as well. And to everyone who's watching us, if you're local, if you live around this area, just check Lizzie out and everything in the description of this video to know how to connect with her. So you mentioned, Lizzie, that at that point you were already running events. What kind of events were you hosting at that point?
So I was the co-owner of the Mum Club, Stratford-upon-Avon. So I ran that with my business partner for 2 years, but then I sold it earlier on this year to her. So she's doing a great job now.
Wow, congratulations. You really are an inspiration, Lizzie. And every time I come to your events, it just feels lively and positive and joyful. And I'm really grateful that you created something like this in this area. But if you think about those first moments, like when you decided, you know what, I'm just gonna go and post this in the forum and then I'll see who will show up. Do you remember like having any fears or hesitations? And if so, like what was your biggest thing, biggest fear?
Do you know what, Stella? I, no, I didn't have any fears. I'm not
I
kind of,
love it.
I have an idea and I have to go for it. I'm the opposite of a perfectionist. I just want to get it out there and see what happens. And if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. And either way, because I wanted to create a community for everyone, hopefully you see that in my events. It's not Lizzie's coffee morning, it's the Stratford community. And so I thought if they don't want what I have to offer, that's fine. They can go somewhere else and I'll do something else. So yeah, I didn't have any fears about it.
That's such an inspiration because, you know, the majority of us, myself included, like when I start something, I take so much time, like thinking about everything and listening to your attitude and your perspective on it. It's so refreshing. And thank you so much for sharing that. But when you think about the idea of community, what does this mean to you on a personal and professional level?
Um, it means that everyone can well, thinking on a professional level about my coffee mornings, everyone can come and be themselves. And that's what I want. Some people come and they just have an idea of a business they want to run. And I love that. That's just as exciting as the people who have been running their business for X amount of years. Um, and it's also really important to me that I'm attracting people who think the same way as me. I think networking, lots of people just network in a way that they're just out to get what they can from the group they're going to. And community as me is about way more than that. That's why I don't really like calling it a network group, even though it is. It's about meeting people where they are and getting to know people on a human to human level.
Yeah, oh, you know what? When I go to your events, there is this vibe of like everybody just go and meet each other, and then also what motivates me to like come back and create these connections is the fact that we all come from so many different backgrounds, different businesses, professions, hobbies, and passions, and everything else in between. What do you feel is something about you and what you do and your personality that attracts like all of these different people with different businesses?
I think I genuinely care about people. I genuinely care about everyone who comes to my events. And I love that maybe because I'm the host, but sometimes I see people selling to each other, but no one ever sells to me. They'll come and they tell me their story, they tell me about their kids, their families, their passions. And I think because I'm not outwardly salesy either. I just listen to them on a human to human basis. And then as once you start forming these genuine friendships and connections, people want to come back. I'm sure you come back because you see friends that you've made at other events, and it's a nice environment to be in.
It really is, because it's like there are all of these elements, the location, the vibe, your energy, and the heart that you put into everything that you do. Because I know I joined some of your like co-working events as well. So clearly you are passionate about creating these spaces for people. Do you feel like this has always been something you've had with you ever since you were young, or is it something that you developed in time?
Yeah, no, I've always had it. In fact, just thinking back at my hen party, they were talking about how there was a game like, how did you meet Lizzie? And lots of them were just said, she just started talking to me one day. And that's kind of how I live my life. If I like the look of someone, I like their energy, or really anyone, I'll just have a chat, go to the shops, have a chat with someone, go to the park, have a chat with someone. Because I think people are just so interesting.
They really are. I agree with you on that, because I also like love to travel and to explore different cultures, to listen to people's stories. Hence, we're doing these interviews for this playlist. So I think it's fascinating to really listen to somebody's story, like beyond the words, beyond the expressions. It's the energy that comes through. And since you started this beautiful journey, and even before that, as you were doing other events before, but for this particular journey, since you started this community, can you think of any like beautiful or surprising moments that you've witnessed on this path? Anything that stays with you?
Yes, I hope she doesn't mind sharing. I won't use any names, but one of the ladies that comes, she told me that she was so lonely before she started coming. She'd recently moved to Stratford. She didn't have any friends yet. She moved for her husband's work, and she said she just, used to cry, and then she started coming to my events, and that's how she's made all of her friends. And that is just the fact that people actually come, and this sounds like a don't want to whatever. But it's like changes their life. And because of that community aspect, because you need people in your life. And I recently did a talk on the power of human connection, and people are behind their computer screens the whole time. And there's a space for it, of course, but people are losing empathy. People are losing the ability to have genuine connections with people. And there is nothing like having real friends and going for coffee and going for walks and just having someone to speak to. So yeah, that's my favorite story.
Wow. And I'm sure there are many similar stories. Maybe, people didn't come and tell you like directly, because
Yeah.
we always are so busy with so many things. But this is just a testament to your work and how much you care about what you do. And I love that you did the talk about this as well. And especially in this world where you would witness a lot of situations where people are so disconnected, especially after we've been through COVID and all of that journey as well. Why do you think a community like this that you created is so important nowadays?
Because people need to know that they're not alone, and people need to remember that people aren't scary. It's we're all doing the same thing. We're all trying our best. And I want people to come into my events. They'll have me there. I'll give them a big hug normally. Sorry if you're not a hugger. I'll introduce them to people. Everyone's so warm and welcoming. And I think you can become you're reading the news, it's bad story after bad story after bad story, and it can bring you down, and you think, there's no hope for humanity. And then you go to an event like this, or you join a community. There are lots of lovely communities, not just mine. And you remember that actually people are inherently good and kind, and we do live in a beautiful world. And I think it gives you hope to have that network of people around you.
It really, really does. And when you carry this with you, the values that you have, the stories that you have, you like, as we share about these things, we make the world a happier place, even if it's just bit by bit, step by step, every single day. And I think sometimes we hear like, hey, we want to change the world and we want to improve like everything in the world. But I think changes start from something small, from an idea, from taking that one step at a time. And I know that you're also taking now one step at a time with some other journeys that you're embracing, your retreats and some other projects that you have in mind. Would you like to talk about them, please?
Yeah, I can. As you know, almost a qualified Pilates instructor. And again, this is kind of born out of last year. My youngest child was one. So I had a 1-year-old, a 4-year-old, or three, 4-year-old, and a 5-year-old. Um, and I was just struggling to feel like myself. So I joined a gym, started going to Pilates, and it completely changed my life, really. Well, completely, because I've now got a new career path ahead of me. Um, and particularly I think a lot of mums feel like they lose that connection to themselves, and they struggle to not necessarily get back to who they were, but kind of be comfortable with the person they are now, because it's, as you know, transformative. And so I really want to specialize in pre and postnatal Pilates and create that community, because having a baby is scary, especially your first one, but not, every time you have a baby, it's scary. And if you don't have those mums around you, it's really tough. And the Pilates is, I mean, as you said before, Pilates has healed you in your personal life. It's just feeling stronger and healthier completely changes your mindset, I think. And yeah, I just love it.
Mm. And I love that. Yes, it is incredibly transformative, and it kind of turns your world upside down, especially the
Yeah.
first few days and months. And yes, exactly. Pilates really helped me heal after the birth that I've experienced. And it was really healing. And I wanted to allow my body to guide me to the exercise that I needed at that point in time. And after a lot of different medications and having epidural during the birth moment, Pilates really, really helped me heal. Of course, it's not like you do one session, it's like a magic button. It has to be consistent. And it's so great that when we become moms, our bodies change. I think a lot changes: your energy, your mindset, your view on life, your perspectives, and everything. So if you were to share a message to young moms who are trying to come back to themselves or remember who they are or connect with their passions and like their own journeys, what message do you have for them?
Probably just don't force it. It will happen, and just try to embrace the phase you're in, because it takes a lot longer than people think it does. But there's beauty in that time that you have with your newborn, and you will come back to yourself.
Yes, and I love that, because sometimes we want things to happen like very fast, like please
Mm.
just make it happen tomorrow. But I love how you said there is beauty in that journey, and there really is, because yes, there's a lot of struggle, a lot of new things, but then the more you are present, the more you connect with what's happening for you in there, for the people around you. And then you hear like people telling you stories that you heard from somebody coming to your events, and this gives you the confirmation, well, actually I am following my path. This is something that brings a lot of value to the world. And so when somebody is trying to create this path, it can feel scary. And I know that you are very courageous, and when you have an idea, you embrace it fully and you go with it. How can somebody embrace a bit of this courage? What kind of tips or guidance can you give to them, if like to someone who's thinking, but I am scared, and the reality is I am afraid, and yes, I'm prepared to follow the path and to take the time, but I am still afraid? What tips would you share with them?
Probably again, don't rush it. Take it slow. Take small steps. So if you take a small step, you get some positive feedback, you get a bit more confidence, you do a bit more, you get a bit more feedback. But I also think that a lot of the confidence comes in knowing that you're doing what you want to do. I didn't realize straight away that this was kind of what I feel like my calling is. I tried other avenues and I didn't have the confidence because it wasn't the right thing for me. So take time to make sure that you're doing what you're meant to be doing.
Mm. And would you say support of others is important on this journey?
100%. Yeah, absolutely. You can't do it by yourself. If I'm having, everyone has bad days. If I'm having a bad day, I know I can reach out to, so many people that come to my events, the friends that I've made, there's so many people that I can say, can I have your help or advice on this? And it's invaluable. It really is.
Mm, absolutely. And when you go again through like ups and downs and different challenges, yeah, it's easy to say, I'm just going to do it myself. I'm just going to do it myself. Especially after you have a child, it's like you take this new cloak on and you decide that you're going to do everything yourself. How do you start to ask for help? Because sometimes it can feel like, well, will this sound silly? Will this sound like it's like, why don't I do it myself? Like how someone develops this courage to say, actually, I'm just going to go to my family, to my partner, to my friends, even clients, and ask
Mm.
their opinions and support in everything that I'm doing.
Gosh, this is another hard one, Stella, because I've never had any issues with it. I think that people want to help. Uh, you know, people, they actually think it's a privilege. You know, if you asked for my opinion on something, I'd think, oh, Stella, what's my opinion? That's so lovely. You know, it's not, um, yeah, that's just it. You need to change your mindset because people do genuinely want to help. And think about if one of your friends asked for your help, you wouldn't think, well, hopefully you wouldn't think, oh, they're asking me for help again. You'd think, oh, how lovely that she feels comfortable enough to come to me. Um, so yeah, I just think that people want to help you, and then if you help them as much as you can as well, it just creates that lovely give and take environment.
Ah, this is so beautiful because what you shared here is just a different kind of perspective of like, instead of thinking, well, it's all about me and it's so hard to ask for help, to shift that perspective into actually people want to help. And then everything like changes and it becomes so much easier to have that courage. Because I think a lot of the times this courage is absent because we put so much pressure on ourselves and we want to take on so much. So when you need the inspiration, when you need the motivation, where do you go for that? What inspires you?
Walking in nature is my favorite thing to do. And talking to my business besties about what they're doing, what they're creating. They're the two things, yeah, nature and human interaction.
Nature and human interaction. I absolutely love that. When you think about your path going forward, and I know that you have a lot of beautiful, amazing ideas, and some of them can just come today, tomorrow, you never know. But when you think about your path going forward, how do you visualize yourself? What do you want to create as part of your legacy, let's say?
So thinking about the Stratford Coffee Mornings, the Stratford business community, I want that to be the place to go for small and independent businesses. I want it to be a welcome environment for everyone. I want people to, know of it. So I want it to be well known. If people start a new business, I want them to be told, oh, you should go to the coffee mornings. It's really kind, it's really welcoming. Um, and that to be kind of I want it to be a real vibrant community in Stratford that everyone knows about and makes lasting change on each other through collaboration rather than through my own teaching or anything like that. I want it to be a real kind of collaborative group of people.
And it really is. It really, really is. And what do you think like surprised you the most when you started bringing people together in this journey and before when you were creating events?
I think it's just how much people change through coming, how much more confident people get. A lot of people come to my events because they are so informal and they've never been to a network event before, or they have and they didn't enjoy it. Um, and they kind of come and they're really nervous the first time. When we do the introductions, they may just say, hi, I'm such and such, and this is my business, and then that's it. And then as they keep on coming month on month, they grow in confidence, they make those new friendships, they suddenly, are confident speaking in front of the group and sharing things that they've got going on. And I think that's a part that I didn't realize. I thought people would make great connections, but I didn't realize that their confidence would grow so much.
Mm. That's amazing because yeah, how do you grow confidence? Because we can talk so much about confidence, but I think it builds up when we take action and actually coming to these spaces and opening up and being present. That also means taking action, and it's not always easy, but it's so absolutely rewarding. To our viewers, um, who think, well, actually, yes, I'm in the area, maybe I can attend some of the events, but how do I know this is for me? What would you say? Who is this event for?
Everyone. And it genuinely is. If you're the kind of person who wants to come meet other business owners, some of them are small businesses, some of them are large businesses. It's just a very informal morning. You grab a coffee, the coffee's great. You just come and have a chat. If you're that kind of person, then it's for you. If you're the kind of person who wants to go and know they're going to get business out of it, be able to pitch their business quite aggressively, know that they're going to get referrals, then it's absolutely not for you. And there's lots of other places. But if you just want to make genuine, authentic connections with other local business people who are all doing their best, then that's when you'd come to my group.
Yes, it is a very, very welcoming space. And yes, if you feel like you recognize yourself in what Lizzie described, please check out the description of this video to know how you can connect with Lizzie and to join her events as well. So Lizzie, what do you think? What kind of ripple effect your journey has on the community, just beyond business? What kind of effects do you believe that they happen?
Oh, I've never really thought about that, but I'm hoping just because I see people making these genuine friendships and going out for coffee, going out walking with each other. I think it's just making it a happier place. And I do have in the pipeline, I really want to, I'm talking to charities and I'm going to start working with charities because I think there's so many of us now. And if we all work together to make Stratford-upon-Avon a nicer place, a better place for everyone. I'm talking to the food banks or the youth communities, and I think that we can make a really positive difference. And we should. I feel like we should.
Yes, as I said, if we can do at least something small every single day, it creates such a big change. And thank you so much for sharing that. So Lizzie, with everything that you're doing, I really, really see you as a leader because you decide, you go forward, you take the decision, you take action, you bring people together. What would you say you learned about leadership through your journey?
Be Being a leader feels uncomfortable to me as a word, and I think that's because everything I do, I try to do it as a community. So I think I'd say that although I make the decisions and all of those things, I would be nothing without the people that come to my events and the people that support me. So it would be something about listening to the people around you, but ultimately always following your heart.
Mm. Wow, it just shows how much you care about everybody who comes in your space. And I think a leader, a natural leader, is someone who is recognized by others in the first place. And then, as you're going to hear this again and again and again, that others see you as a leader, then you probably will become more and more comfortable with the term. But I think it is again about the perspective of how, like, what being a leader means in somebody's perception. And I can totally say that you are the most beautiful, kind, caring leader that I've seen. Do you want to talk to us about your first year party when we all celebrated this beautiful journey of yours? What was the most incredible moment for you as you were preparing for that day and then during that day as well, maybe after as well?
Oh, I was so excited, Stella, because it was just so nice that people made the effort to come, I think, firstly. But I mean, each month last year, I was anxious that not many people would come, but then they did. But even the ones where there was 8 to 10 of us, it was still so nice because I had time to talk to everyone, and create those friendships. But I think on the 1 year celebration, because I invited lots of businesses to show, or invited any of the people who come to showcase their business. So we had Siohan, who's obviously was with you recently, with her cake, and everyone got to see what she did in kind of real life. And then we had Lauren doing her live illustrations, and everyone was blown away by that. And then we had the other Lauren giving massages, and she had a cue the whole time. And it was just seeing everyone kind of really understand what each other do and experiencing each other's businesses and enjoying their talents. That was the best thing for me. I really loved that.
I had an amazing time just seeing all the smiles and the interactions and really connecting with a lot of incredible people as always. And thank you for creating this space. As we're wrapping up this episode, Lizzie, if there is anything that you want to share with our viewers, maybe they consider joining a community and maybe they are still a little bit like, oh, I'm not sure, I don't have the confidence to come in. What if like something happens and I'll be like on a spotlight and I don't know what I'll do, or maybe they have other kinds of reservations to join any communities. What would be your message for them?
I would say if you're nervous, you can go with a friend. Some people do that, and that gives you someone to kind of hold your hand. Or if people are nervous about my group, if they reach out to me and say they want to come, but they've never done anything like this before, I always offer to meet them. I'll either meet them for coffee in person, or we'll have a coffee online, or sometimes they just want to chat on email or something. That's fine. But if the right group will do everything they can to make you feel welcome in their space.
Wow, I love that. Absolutely incredible message to end this episode with. And thank you so much, Lizzie, for being here. Thank you for your presence and for everything that you do. And to everyone who's watching us, if you're new to our channel, please take a moment to subscribe, like this video, let us know your thoughts. And I can't wait to see you again next time. Take care. Bye-bye.